Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the post-show live chat, where we're going to be talking about everything that just went down during Fantasy Suites of the Bachelorette. How's everyone doing tonight? We are down to two men left. It's Brandon and Nate. Brandon and Nate are the two guys remaining, and an emotional goodbye to Joe. The man who was in Michelle's DMs and then ghosted her, and then now it's over. The Mr. and Mrs. Basketball of Minnesota dream is dead. So we're going to be getting into chat, some live sleuthing, talking a bit about Clayton's season as well. There's a lot to discuss tonight, but before we get into all of that, of course, gotta talk about the chat rules. Number one, even though we are right at the end, we are at the final two. The finale is next week. Please, no posting any blatant spoilers in the chat. Of course, anything sleuthed out, totally welcome. Anything from an official account, also welcome. I'm going to do my best to answer any and all questions that I see in chat, but chat goes by pretty fast sometimes, and of course, super chats are going to get priority. And really, the most important rule of all is number 4, be kind to each other. And I already see a super chat already from Asia. Always glad to see you. I almost thought that Brandon was self-eliminating at the end there. Yes, at the end of the episode, we saw Brandon pull aside Michelle for some reason. Maybe he thought he was getting eliminated. Maybe it'd been a few days. She had had fantasy suite dates with Joe and Nate since. Sad to see Joe go, but it was for the best. The relationship was moving too slow for Michelle. I agree. I think that is what it ultimately came down to. You had Nate, who had finally sort of said his piece and given Michelle what she wanted. I think she was and is the most into Nate. So she just needed some of the I don't know, red flag stuff from her hometown date with Nate to be quelled. And then you had Brandon, who's completely all in, like, there, ready to do the whole 9 yards. He'd propose on the spot if he could. And finally, Joe. A little slow moving, a little softer with his emotions, a little quieter. But one thing I always wonder in these seasons, if the final 3, once you get to that point, if you're the lead, do you go, okay, I've got 3 people with me, this is the person who I think I'm going to pick, so to make it easier, I'm going to eliminate the person I'm, like, second, I don't know how to say, like, second most interested in, at the final 3, to make it easier for the finale. Like, going into the finale, you'd be really heartbroken if you're torn between 2 people and you go, oh, okay, like, I have to eliminate one of them. Better to eliminate them maybe at the final 3. I always wonder if they do that. I don't know if I heard some lead do that before, or if I'm just making that up in my mind. Make it easier for the finale, like to push through that last week, focus solely on one relationship, and kind of, I don't know, maybe it's mean, you hang the one person out to dry. But no, we have Nate and Brandon. Yeah, I guess maybe with that finale thing there, or the right here with Brandon at the end pulling her aside, maybe he was just worried, because he went first, that Michelle had better times with the other guys since him. And we do know that the order was correct. The order was correct. It was Brandon, then Joe, then Nate, based on the conversation that Nate and Brandon had while Joe was on his fantasy suite. Sometimes they can edit around the actual filming order with hometowns or with the fantasy suites. You don't know who actually went first or who went second. They'll put whatever order they want that makes sense for the narrative that they're trying to sell. And In fact, I believe on Instagram, here, let me just see if I can pull it up. Bachelor Data, a great Instagram account that you should follow if you're not already. They posted a bunch of the fantasy suite dates from seasons going back to 2012 to 2012, or even 2010. 2010. There's an extra one in there, marking who went home and who got engaged on each of the fantasy suites. And I think the worst spot to be, overall, the worst spot to be is the last spot. Most of the time, yeah, here it is, last overnight. 58% of the time, if you're in the last spot, you get eliminated. And the most likely to get engaged, it looks like the middle spot. Middle spot's the best spot. However, tonight we saw the opposite. We were seeing the middle person get eliminated, and the last spot being the front runner. I mean, we'll see next week, but as far as I'm concerned, Nate is the by far front runner at this point. I think Michelle, even in the episode, had said like he's her soulmate or something like that, or he's soulmate material, and she's in love with him. So I don't know. We'll see if anything changes next week. I don't know if it will. Certainly they will throw in some narrative stuff to try and push us away from Nate after the week that he had. And what I mean, the data is clear here, thanks to Bachelor Data. Go give them a follow again. But I'm curious on some of the seasons that I can remember here, if we can kind of look back at it. I mean, because more than like what slot is good or bad, the more important thing is the narrative. That will tell you more of the order each week than anything else. Like, I mean, Katie's season was weird. Tayshia's season, you had Ivan, Zach, and Brandon self-eliminating at the end. But that was the drama for the episode. That was the kind of kicker at the end. You weren't going to have the self-elimination at any other spot other than the end. Unless there was some sort of craziness that happened, like him self-eliminating whatever at the beginning, and then it affecting all the other dates. And remember, they can switch these around. Same with Luke there. The whole Luke thing had to be at the end, because that was the big drama. So the narrative is really the important part. And to see it again, really, really appreciate the super chat, the continued support. Thank you so much. I know that Brandon is the safe option and that Nate is the risky option. I kind of see her getting with Brandon and not Nate. I can see that Nate is shown so much in these previews. I could be just crazy. I like, it's fair enough. We've seen, depending on the person, they go with the safe option over the riskier, more passion pick, I guess, if you can call it that. I think Tayshia was an example of someone who took a safer option on her season. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the wrong decision. I think for Tayshia at that time, with where she was and what she needed as a person in a relationship, the safer option was was better for her. That was the proper decision. It wasn't like she was making the wrong decision just because it's safe, as it happens. But yeah, no, we've I don't know if the rule of someone being showcased so much in the previews applies at this late point in the game. I'm not sure. Because normally, yeah, in a season preview, especially a preseason preview at the beginning or before the season, if someone is showcased so much, it seems to be that that there's someone who may go far but doesn't win. We saw that with, I think Joe in the preseason previews for this season was the most showcased person, if I recall. We saw that before with Greg on Katie's season. We saw that Michelle was in a ton of Matt's season preview, even though she wasn't on the show. She wasn't announced as a cast member. She was in it still. And Ben, for sure, from the Tasha Claire stuff. He was all over the previews. And he was the runner-up. So it certainly applies then. I don't know if it applies now, because, we're just down to 2 guys, right? They're more trying to, I think at this point, sell the idea that Nate is not going to be the pick, because they need us to go into the episode with tension, with drama, with the idea that she's not going to pick Nate because he's too much of a risk. Her parents are saying, no, don't pick Nate. I don't believe he's the guy. And Brandon is so obviously head over heels, ready to go all in with her. And maybe that was also the purpose of his little stunt at the end there, going in and telling Michelle how much he loves her no matter what, to reinforce that idea of Brandon as the solid, resolute option. So, and again, that could be something that producers pushed as well. They could have said, "Go in, go do it, do your thing." And SHM Design, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Good to see you chatting as well again. Hope you're doing well. I'm kind of sad they made it kind of obvious it's Nate, and I'm not sure if I like him / they last. What? You don't believe in the process? How could you not believe in the process? I hope they need to find a win somewhere. And if it's not with Michelle and her pick, I don't have a good feeling for Clayton's season. And I'll tell you why. Clayton's season, we can talk a little bit more about Clayton's season later. That's coming up. But it just, I don't know about everyone else, but seeing the last few previews, and there was another preview tonight where someone on the first night or something rejects Clayton's rose. They thought it was going to be Greg. They thought it was going to be Greg showing up, and they were disappointed. No, so it looks messy, and there's a lot of fun to be had with mess. It feels like they're reaching for a Peter season, which still to this day reverberates through Bachelor Nation. So I can kind of understand a little bit maybe what they were going for with Clayton. They can do whatever they want, apparently. They can get any kind of drama storyline they want out of him. But I don't know. That also makes me worried for the prospects to come. But yes, how dare you doubt the process? Look at the track record of... never mind. We'll see. Yeah, I get a lot of people are having their doubts about Nate. Just the fact that he's never been in a committed relationship as serious as this. He's never said the same things with Michelle than with anyone else. But one thing I always think at the end of this, no matter what, no matter who's picked, unless it's like some crazy wild villain pick, wish him the best and move forward. And Ramen Noob, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Good to see you as well again. Happy holidays, fan take. Enjoy a holiday beer on me with love from the small town of Chicago. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Absolutely will do. For the finale, I'll have a beer on you. 3-hour finale. So maybe 2. Maybe 2. Really, really appreciate it. And Maria Hernandez, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the support. Really, really appreciate it. I see Nate going all the way. I agree. Their chemistry is undeniable. P.S. The Men Tell All was a Maury and Jerry Springer show all wrapped up. Yes, as so many funny and cringe moments. It was wild. I agree with you there. The Men Tell All, if you didn't watch, was wild. Which reminds me, I was going to say something special at the beginning of the stream. I forgot. So sorry to Joe. Joe is gone. May your time here be well known. Rest in pizza. Rest in pizza. That has been living rent free in my mind all week. I can't believe this man said that with a serious face. Yeah, it was fake. It was cringy, and it made me laugh a bunch. Something I did appreciate for the recap, because sometimes the Men Tell-Alls can be tough to sift through for recaps. There's a lot that goes on, a lot of jabber, a lot of details that can easily be missed unless you're really paying attention. And this time, there were a lot of laugh out loud moments. Sometimes, definitely not on purpose all the time, but that helped with the recap process for sure this time. But thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Let me make sure I didn't miss any here. And Junkster82, thank you for the super chat as well. Really appreciate it. Do Ontario a favor. Going into Clayton season, can you commit to pronouncing Toronto the right way? Toronto the right way? I'll do my best. One thing that I appreciate about this season, I learned how to spell Minnesota. Thanks to this season of The Bachelorette. So, yes, and for those of you who don't know, we will be visiting Toronto partway through this season of The Bachelorette. Of The Bachelor. This upcoming season of The Bachelor will be in Toronto. And spent many years living in Toronto. So I know a thing or two about that. I also was a tour guide in Toronto for a little while. So that'll be fun. And they go to Croatia as well. I have family in Croatia. I've been to Croatia. Family that lives there. And and as I said in my video, and they go to Iceland at the end. One place I've always wanted to go, Iceland. So if nothing else, that season ahead is going to be fun to watch. And by that I mean the scenery. The scenery is going to be fun to watch. And Sadesh, thank you as well for the super chat. Really appreciate it. I just had a tough time watching Nate taking so long to say yes to Michelle's questions regarding his commitment to an engagement. Yeah, so are you saying that's a red flag? Yeah, I always have a tough time in any season with any guy or gal or whoever. Because the reality is these seasons are so short. They happen so quickly over such a small period of time, and a lot of that time is not really well spent together. You know what I mean? Like, they will go in the morning, they'll have a one-on-one date, they'll get ready, they'll go and they'll meet the person, they'll get set up for filming, they will film their little segment meeting each other, maybe go on a day portion of the date, drive for a little bit, then be separated, then go to the spot where they're actually going to have their date, then film, then be separated again, then not see each other for hours, then meet for the night portion of their date, wait forever, then actually get to sit down together for a little bit of a chat. Then they've got all the cameras on each other, and then they're pulled away again, and maybe they get like an extra fireworks portion of their date. And there's not a whole heck of a lot of time actually spent getting to know each other. Which is why in some situations you've seen like last minute behind the scenes get-togethers to go over logistics. I know that Sean Lowe on his season, like the night before the finale or the final rose ceremony, that ran to Catherine's room to go over really important details on like their morals and like living situation and stuff like that to really solidify their engagement. So but sometimes, very few times, it works. So maybe wish them the best if they're the pick. But I think that's the pick, Nate and Michelle. Not just even the sleuthing. Like the vibe this episode seemed to be. She's most into Nate. So. And SHM Design, thank you again for the super chat. I trust your process. The show's not so much. Yeah. Do you watch Survivor? I do. I haven't watched this latest season. I am a big Survivor fan. It's been really busy. It's been really, really busy. So often I will take the off season to catch up on shows I want to watch, shows that are popular to reference, and anything not Bachelor related. And the spare time while on a season goes to whatever I can. Which this season has been Below Deck. I've been watching a lot of Below Deck, and a bit of RuPaul's Drag Race. UK has been some of the filler, the mindless filler in between. So no Survivor spoilers. I know the finale is around now for the latest one, but I am a big Survivor fan, and thank you for the super chat. And LA Broad 72, thank you for the super chat as well. Do you think they canceled the rumored second season of The Bachelor due to the backlash over Clayton being chosen? Yes, I'd heard. So for those of you who don't know or might not know, there were rumors going around that after Clayton's season of The Bachelor, in the May-June slot where there's normally a season of The Bachelorette, they were going to put up another Bachelor season. And a few of the things that I'd heard going around were it's because of the new host, Jesse Palmer, and his schedule. He wanted to have The Bachelor in May, June, and then The Bachelorette in this slot at the end of the year, and then there be no season in January. And then they were going to, so that's what they were going to do. They're going to start off fresh after Clayton's season and start the new cycle. So, I don't know, Bachelor Clayton season, and then new Bachelor season, Bachelor in Paradise, Bachelorette, no season in January, then Bachelor again in May, June. So, a few of the things that I've been wondering about why they might have switched back, which is the new rumor. The new rumor is they've switched back to it. They're just going to go back to normal, and we're going to have Bachelorette in its normal spot, Bachelor in Paradise, nothing at the end of the year, and then January again. Some of the possibilities are they wanted certain people to be the Bachelor. I think that was Michael. Michael A. from Katie's season. Maybe it worked out with his son, like they could film it and he could have his son around or something like that. There were rumors that Blake was someone they wanted as well. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that was a rumor that was thrown around just to kind of be a red herring for the Michael rumors that were going around, because there were Bachelor casting announcements that were asking for women who were either divorced or had children, which seemed like a Michael sort of situation. And they're also, I wonder if, because the ratings have been down in the slot at the end of the year, because, we've had a lot of Bachelor content in a row. They're having to compete with Dancing with the Stars, Monday Night Football, and this, having an episode on Mondays at 9 for the Men Tell All, and then Tuesdays instead of Mondays, all sorts of things, or whatever. Maybe that scared them as well. And the network said, no, we're going to shut it down. We're going to shut it down. That was my reasoning before you asked the question. The backlash over Clayton's season, I don't know, because I think we'll really get an idea on how people view Clayton and the backlash of him being picked once ratings come in January, and that will be a big sign for the network. But there you go. Oh my goodness, we are here. It is 10:30, which means it's time for our normal Bachelor news segment. Bachelor news of the week. There's not a whole heck of a lot. Cut the music. In Bachelor news this week, we did find out that Wells was interested in being the host of The Bachelor. Jesse Palmer got the job. Wells was bummed. If you don't know who Wells is, he's the bartender of Bachelor in Paradise. Former Bachelor contestant. One of the names thrown around for the job. But did not get it. Sorry. In other news, something else I wanted to talk about. We've got here a contestant from Clayton's upcoming season, a very important to the narrative contestant, named Gabby Windy. Gabby Windy on the left there, seen here with Dean and... Oh, no, that's Kaylin. Sorry, that's Kaylin that Dean is with. No, but the news that's been going around, if you didn't know, is apparently Gabby is Dean's ex-girlfriend. Dean's ex-girlfriend, ex-flame. Can you tell if Dean has a type? Can you tell? I don't know about you. but there you go. Yes, and we will see Gabby January 3rd on Clayton's season of The Bachelor, which we can do a little bit of talking about. There's quite a bit to talk about. So that's the basic news of the week. That's all I wanted to talk about. I know there's probably lots of other stuff we can talk about, but that's what I had prepped for this this segment here. Yes, Clayton, The Bachelor. If you didn't see the video, the preview breakdown on that, there are two videos. We got a first look and a more extensive preview breakdown for Clayton's season, where it looks like they gave away the final two. The final two for Clayton season here, right here. The final two. And according to the preview, it's the two women. I feel like a weatherman. Over here, in the corner. The two women that they cut to in this shot are Rachel, the blonde-haired woman, and Genevieve. But Genevieve is not the woman right here. Rachel, I buy. Rachel, I buy. Green check mark. Genevieve, don't buy. This woman right here, I think, is Gabby Windy. Gabby Windy. There's a name. Gabby Windy. You can see a better shot of her in the same outfit right here, the hair, and then another shot of Gabby and Clayton on a one-on-one. Maybe on a helicopter ride outside of Tirana. That's who I think it actually is. Now, there also could be a third woman here. So it might be final two. This might be final three. We know it's the final three rose ceremony, for sure, in Iceland, but not the final rose ceremony. So this third woman, based off of the sleuthing that people from Iceland messaged me about, commented on the channel here in this shot. Unless this is like, I don't know, one of the other two women wet hair or something is really fooling us. People from Iceland notice that this looks like the Sky Lagoon, which just in the last little while opened up. So it'd be a perfect advertising opportunity for this place in Iceland. So final three. This would be final three because after hometowns, you go to one location for the final three, one location for the final two, typically. So Iceland for the final three and final two. And there you have it. And Maria, again, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Is it me or is anyone else frustrated that no Bachelor producers is addressing a lot of people's disappointment with Clayton? They're really hyping him in the previews. It kind of upsets me. That speaks to one thing that I really wish production would do. Have a sit-down interview, State of the Union for Bachelor Nation, to discuss why specifically a person was picked for the lead. And even if it's, I don't know, even if it's after the season or something, I just want to know. I know I have no dream of ever actually finding out this information, but I have hope, and I'd love to know. They'd never do it, but it would help clarify a lot of the questions and assumptions people make when it comes to who's picked for the Bachelor or Bachelorette. Why this person? Well, it was because we really liked that he would do anything we said, and we could put him into any position, any date. He would give us the perfect sound bites. Or we really didn't want this person to be the Bachelor because we thought everyone would really fall for them, and we didn't like them, and they weren't very easy to manipulate, so we jumped the gun and just made this dude the Bachelor, Or we really wanted Michael, Greg, or Andrew from Katie's season, but they all said no, so, we were left with Clayton. And we had to start filming. That kind of thing. It just, great. Then we know. Because, like I've said before, I don't have anything against Clayton. I just don't know why he was picked. So, it leaves it like a, huh? So there you go. Clayton is the Bachelor, and we'll see if we can at the end of the night we'll check to see if the preview is up. Though I'm not so sure we even need to do a lot of sleuthing for the finale. I don't think there's anything that gives away who she picks one over the other. We know who the final two are. However, one thing we can talk about is, will Michelle be getting engaged? I believe yes. And Beatriz, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the support. Nate is going to be chosen. She glows like the sun when she sees him. She wants to believe Nate is where she wants him to be. Nate gave lukewarm answers. Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. That being said, I do think Nate is going to be picked, and Nate will propose. We'll see what happens after that, if indeed they do get engaged. But I'm feeling confident. I think a lot of people are as well, that Nate is the pick. And I believe she's getting engaged in the top, the corner shot right there, because in the previews they tried to make it look, I guess it was in the mid-season preview, the later on this season that they always do, episode 4, like 5 or so, halfway through, and they had the shot with Michelle covering her face. Looks like she's crying at the end of her journey, but they've thrown that fake out a few times before in the past, and it's actually them responding to getting engaged, usually. So this makes me just believe more than anything that Michelle is going to get engaged at the end, I think, with Nate. And we'll get our 3-hour payoff there. So I do think I do think there's a happy ending building up, and all of this, like Nate being ready or not stuff, that's the tension that they're throwing in. If you remember from Katie's season, they did similar, not the same stuff with Blake, because Blake was the only one left. So there had to be some kind of drama. Otherwise, it's just waiting for the proposal, you know? And it was, is Blake going to be ready to propose? Is Blake going to be okay to propose after all the fallout from Greg and Katie? It's sort of a similar situation. Is Michelle going to be okay with how wishy-washy Nate is, or how her parents and his parents say, you know, he's not ready? So yeah. Yeah, and Grace, if that's paradise, if that's the Paradise Beach, Brandon can just hang out there till filming begins. Yep. I also wonder if they chose Mexico for the ending location of Michelle's season, so that they could just, like, they're already in paradise. You know, we've already got these places booked. We've got this free coupon for ziplining that we haven't used yet. Let's get Michelle's season in here. We'll use the crew that's already here. There probably is a legit reason, like, they just keep the crew from Paradise, and then they don't have to swap over, do any, like, protocols for COVID or anything like that, and save themselves a bunch of bucks. I wonder. And hopefully we'll have Jorge come out as well. So, yes, and 3 hours next week. 3 hours. Mark your calendars, mark your whatever, set an alarm, do your thing. 3-hour finale Buckle in, folks. Buckle in. And then we have a small holiday break before Clayton's season. So a longer break than we've had in a while. I mean, almost 2 weeks. It's more than we got in between Paradise and Michelle's season. Or Katie's and Bachelor in Paradise. So who do y'all think might be on the next season of Bachelor in Paradise? And who do y'all want? Rodney. Rodney for sure. I mean, they even referenced that at the Men Tell All. Caitlin was saying, maybe you'll be in Paradise, kind of thing. Yeah, and someone's saying, Rick, I can totally see it. I wonder if Pardeep might be a kind of grocery store Joe situation. I don't know. I wonder if it's going to be like from a scale of Dr. Joe to Dr. Joe to grocery store Joe. Where does Pardeep lie? If he does go to Bachelor in Paradise. You had grocery store Joe, early arrival. Even on the first time he was in Paradise, when he met Kendall. And then this last season of Paradise, Dr. Joe, who showed up way late, no chance of a connection. Where on the scale does Pardeep lie for people who were somewhat early eliminations with less screen time than they deserved? I feel Pardeep equals diet grocery store Joe, somewhere in the middle. It's going to be a week 3 entrant. Yeah, Olu as well. We'll see how. I mean, you wondered from Tayshia's season what the deal was going to be with the men for Paradise, because we had an extra season of guys thrown in there. You knew that people from Matt James's season were going to be, a lot of them were going to be represented because there were only so many like women from recent seasons to choose from. It was just Matt James's season and then a few from past seasons. But there were 2 Bachelorette seasons in the year. It's going to be the same. There were quite a few guys from Tayshia's season, if I remember, that showed up. So we could definitely see quite a few. Rodney, Olu, Brandon or Nate or Joe. But I could totally see a Brandon in Paradise. Totally see a Brandon in Paradise. I don't know. It feels like if he's not getting engaged at the end of next episode, I don't know, something feels like, yeah, about that. Yeah. Blake in Paradise? According to Blake, on one of the podcasts he was on, he said he's done with the franchise. We'll see, though. That has changed. That's changed with other people in the past, where they've said they're done. They don't want anything to do with it. I mean, he also had just recently broken up with Katie, and the Katie and John stuff had come out. So, according to him, he's done. He's done with it. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we saw Becca, Bachelorette, show up. I wonder if they'll have a former Bachelor or Bachelorette now. They're going to try to push for another repeat there. Another former lead showing up. I mean, who could possibly so Claire is currently in, I think she's in a relationship. Hannah Brown in a relationship. Katie in a relationship. Matt James in a relationship. Peter? Peter? Barb? Yeah, I don't know who it would be. Maybe, and then we might reach back into seasons past. Ben Flajnik? Of course. Who's Claire dating? A normie? I think it's a normie. Yeah, I think she's dating a normie. Not from the franchise. Some normie. Yeah, I don't know who from the list of former leads they could choose from. Oh yeah, Tasha? Tasha? Maybe Tasha, that would be like a thing. And Tyler C, I feel like no. No, I feel like he's another guy who's kind of done with the franchise. I think Hannah Brown is also done with the franchise. I think because I did they offer her? I'd heard they'd offered her a the Bachelorette role after Peter's season. I'd heard that, and she said no. So I'd heard that they didn't offer her enough money. I don't know how true that was. You know, I don't know. Shit, and it was a long year of Hannah Brown. So. But you never know. You never know. You get back on. You see those follower counts dip down a bit, and suddenly Bachelor in Paradise is looking a lot more appealing. A lot more appealing. I will only watch Peter if Barb comes with him. Oh no. Oh no. Well, apparently they're tied at the hip. I finished Hannah Brown's book to see if there was any tea in there, and apparently at one point when Hannah came to stay with Peter while his season was airing, by the way, stay overnight, Barb was there, and they chatted, and Peter went upstairs. They chatted while Peter went upstairs, and then eventually he texted her, "Come cuddle." And then the next morning, she chatted with Peter's dad, who was in a robe. So, so there you go. Oh, yeah. Of course they were there. Peter, he's been the Bachelor and makes enough money, but he was with his folks. All right, let's see if we can get. If the preview comes up at the end of the hour, we will look at the preview for the finale. But I think we have an idea of what's going to go down. We've got Brandon here. He's going to come in, be the safe option. I think he's going to be posted as that. Nate, the riskier option. We did see Ephraim, Michelle's dad, say, I think he might be a jealous person. He's wearing the shirt that he says that in while sitting down with Brandon, actually. So we'll see if that's something that they actually put in the show, because potentially that could not be good for the narrative that they're trying to put forward. Or if maybe things get switched around. Nate as well. We've seen Michelle's mom saying, I don't think he's ready for an engagement. And then we'll get to the finale. And I think, like, it's strange. We're getting a more traditional season here. We've had so many seasons that have been blown up, or someone's left at the end, or we didn't get a fantasy suite date for everyone, or, you know, someone got broken up with, and there's only one person left. So many times in the last few seasons and years. This season, very traditional. The only thing this season didn't have that was a truly standard Bachelor or Bachelorette staple, a 2-on-1. A 2-on-1. That was about it. It's the only thing we didn't get. And of course the normal, like, travel and hometowns because of the COVID restrictions, but pretty standard season it looks like we're getting. So that's nice. Rose ceremonies ending each episode, not having to be continued every other night. That's nice. So yeah, 2-on-1s are just for the beefs. Yeah, we haven't had and this season, not a heck of a lot of drama. Not a heck of a lot of drama. I mean, there was, like, Jamie and, a bit with Chris S. and a really little bit with Martin. I mean, I know Martin was the kind of villain after, but it didn't seem to conflict with a lot. Not a heck of a lot of drama. So this is a good season for, I think, if you're wanting something a little more traditional, a little more romance-focused, with a bit of drama thrown in, but not a whole heck of a lot. And, if you want the opposite, if you want, like, all drama, which has some value, it has its value, that can be fun. It's like Peter season. Peter season, drama, not a whole heck of a lot of romance going on. So. Yeah, whoever she sends home at the final rose ceremony, I pray she doesn't make them come to that final rose ceremony. Please let them down early. That's been pretty normal. That's been pretty standard. I think it's kind of like a decency thing, but we'll see. Because, like I said before, this very traditional season, that would be another standard that we've not seen in a very long time. The person rejected at the final rose ceremony, and not before. So I'm just checking here, see if we can get the preview, see if it comes out. Oh, one thing I can show you that I seen earlier, to show you how crazy sometimes Bachelor editing can be. I notice it a whole heck of a lot more when I'm video editing, and you got the headphones on and you can, like, really hear. Take a listen to this. This is a little preview for this episode from Good Morning America that was on, and it shows the ending, kind of the rose ceremony here. And I'm going to prop on these things so I can really hear it, and you'll hear the sound clipping really prominently in this clip. So check this out. This is a little preview. I think I counted 6 Frankenbites in the first sentence or two that Brandon says here. And Frankenbite is the term that's commonly used in the show for like Frankensteining together sound clips to make a sentence.
My overnight with Michelle was so phenomenal. I think my biggest fear is losing, like, the woman that I love more than anything.
I'm feeling...
Oh my god. Listen to here. I'm going to count each cut in the sound. That's from a different complete spot.
My overnight with Michelle was so phenomenal. I think my biggest fear is losing, like, the woman that I love more than anything.
6.
I'm feeling really happy with...
6 separate segments. Oh my gosh. Sometimes it's really bad. And the weird thing is this sentence.
My overnight with Michelle was so phenomenal. I think my biggest fear is losing, like, the woman that I love more than anything.
Like, Brandon might actually say that. Like, that might be a sentence that he actually says. Like he might be totally cool with saying that. That might be a sentiment he would say to a camera, would be happy to have out there in the world. And it's just something that the narrative, the narrative that they want to tell fits better if they just compact it into this small segment because they only have so many, seconds to put it into for that preview or for the episode or something like that. But it goes to show you the lengths that they can sometimes say. Let's see if we can get this. Okay, preview. Someone told me preview is up. All right, we got it. We got the preview. All right. So we'll take a look at this preview for the finale. See if there's anything crazy going on here. Then we'll end the night, and recap will be out tomorrow. Preview breakdown, the extensive preview breakdown for this preview will be out the day after that. Then 3-hour finale on Tuesday. So here we go. Let's see here now. We'll just gonna do the this mode. All right. Let's take a look. We're top 17 views.
Love with 2 people. How do you know which person is your person?
Michelle's journey of love comes to a dramatic conclusion.
I found my forever person, and all I think about is sharing my life.
There you go. There. Someone finally bought Nate a new pair of swim trunks. If you didn't know, Nate wears the same orange swim trunks everywhere he goes, except here. And this was what we used to figure out that Nate was going to make it to the final 2 before the last preview that also had Michelle's mom sitting down with Nate. So, which is the obvious other way. So,
With her.
There's nothing else I want more in the world than Michelle.
And there's also, again, Brandon, same swim trunks twice, but Michelle's different swimsuit. So that was our reasoning for the top 2. There you go. Turned out to be as simple as that. 2 men wearing the same trunks. Michelle having a larger wardrobe. But
World than Michelle. I don't want to go through life without you.
My concern is that you would become a jealous person.
I am.
yeah, and there you go. This is what I was talking about earlier. Ephraim. I always thought it was Ephraim because I'd heard the name Ephraim and I'd seen it spelled that way before. But someone pointed out before, and then Michelle said in one of the episodes, Ephraim. So there you go. But the jealous person, the narrative in the preview from like the mid-season preview or something like that was they put up Nate, a picture of Nate, right before this, and then Ephraim saying, my concern is that he would become a jealous person. But Ephraim in the same, looks like he's talking about Brandon here, actually. I wonder if that'll be in the actual episode. We'll see.
Person.
I am very ready to get down on one knee.
I'm not sure you're 100% in.
Do you feel like he's ready for engagement?
To be honest, no.
So this is the, I think, the big drama push for the episode. We've got Michelle's parents saying Nate is not ready. I don't know if this moment will be her responding to anything like that, but that's going to be the will she, won't she choose Nate with everything that's been said by her parents and his parents. Or will she believe him when he says he's ready?
I deserve to be in a relationship where someone loves me as much as I love them.
Here I am, madly in love with you.
It's a final rose ceremony location as well. Here, same one that we've seen Michelle walk down before.
With you. And it is terrifying.
There's nobody else in this world who I'd rather give my heart to.
And here, if you watch the last preview breakdown, we know couldn't be Joe in this shot. Hands are too smooth. Hands too smooth. Joe, at one point, for some reason, had hairy hands. In some shots, he doesn't. That's another question. I want the producers to sit down and tell us why Clayton was the Bachelor and what's up with Joe's hairy hands in that one shot. I need to know.
I give my heart to.
This could be it for me.
I think this is, by the way, just her kind of like, what am I doing? Am I about to actually break up with someone or propose to someone, or I'm about to make this decision? In fact, the more that I think about it, her saying, what am I doing, makes me believe she picks Nate even more, because Brandon, this guy who's just so ready to like go all in with her without hesitation, without the red flags or whatever that other people have been commenting on. Like, she's gonna actually break up with him and then choose maybe the riskier person. What am I doing? Or it's, what am I doing? I'm about to get engaged after just a few weeks. That I don't know. It's just more and more making me believe Nate is the pick.
It's the shocking conclusion you'll never expect.
This is the hardest
never expect.
decision I've ever made.
That's right. Blake. Whoop. That's right. Got ruined by the pop-up. You'll never expect. Blake is showing up. That's the only thing I wouldn't expect. Maybe Michelle proposes? Yeah, maybe it's Michelle who's proposing. So there you go. That is the preview finale. I think not a lot has changed. Not a whole heck of a lot. Of course, I'll be going into more detail on this on Thursday for the preview breakdown. Tomorrow will be the recap of this episode. A lot of dudes avoiding eye contact. That's the one sentence recap while you wait for tomorrow. A lot of dudes avoiding eye contact. So there you go. But thank you all for joining me for chatting, for super chatting. I really, really appreciate it. Keep your eyes out for that recap. Hopefully around 4, maybe 5 Eastern time. And then it's a 3-hour finale. Don't forget, next Tuesday, 3-hour finale where we find out what goes down. Of course, even though it's going to be late, we'll be here. We'll be live chatting a little bit, at least. Pre-Christmas. Should I do some I'll definitely do some Christmas memes as well. Do maybe a little bit of a Christmas special for the finale. But thank you all for joining. So nice to chat with everyone. Hear everyone's opinion. And until next time, Bachelor Fan Take out.